And our next speaker is Mr. M. Soundakumar, Director, CDOT, Bangalore. So kindly give a presentation, sir.
I am Soundakumar from CDOT. Most of you may be knowing about CDOT, Center for Development of Telematics. This was the company established in 1984. And today we are talking about Digital India. We have started this journey in 1984 itself, 30 years before. And we have established a very good infrastructure. And 2/3 of the equipment in India, it is serviced and still working in the field successfully. And our major customer is BSNL and erstwhile DOT. And today, in this topic, I would like to have a few thoughts about what is the concerns about this higher education versus ICT, and what is the role of ICT in education, and what is the future trend in ICT, and impact on education due to trends, and our CDOT experience with ICT. If time permits, I would like to give an overview of the products in CDOT. Products. So first of all, ICT, what we require, is it necessary in our life or is it not required? So this ICT is always required, that is everybody, globalization of economy, information, technology innovations, knowledge-based economy, everything is requiring ICT today. And it should be available for all, and it should be available anytime, and it should be available anywhere. So that is the ICT basic necessity. And coming to this, first of all, introduction. In the introduction, we would like to see that most of the informations are observed by the students or anybody. That is 87% of the people get this information, and through 9% by ears and 4% via other medias. And what I would like to say is ICT is playing a major role in this. See, in ICT, what is the fundamental thing? The growing need to explore efficiencies in terms of program delivery, the opportunity for flexibilities, and the capacity of technology to provide the support for customized educational programs. Whatever we are talking about, everything is done in-house. Suppose if this has to be transported, and basic infrastructure, that is a broadband, or whatever we are having the data, whether it is transported, do we have the necessary infrastructure? Is it continuously available to everybody for usage? That is the biggest challenge today. Factors impacting this ICT in education. First of all, these are all the common factors faced by many of us. That is lack of funding to purchase the infrastructure or the technology. That is, most of the institutes, very few institutes are having the facility to buy, but most of the institutes are having a lack of fund. Second one is lack of training among the established teaching practitioners. That is, do we get the teachers or do we get the experts? And all these lectures, all this knowledge transfer, is it happening in all over India or in the rural community? That is the biggest challenge. And lack of motivation and need among teachers to adopt ITC as a teaching tool. This is a reality. Many of the people hesitate to come forward because the lack of knowledge in usage, as well as they have some fear factor also in this. The comparing online education, whatever we have talked about, it is really amazing. Yes, we are going towards the online education, online examination, and everything is acceptable, provided the security factors and the data transfer as well as the malpractices are curbed, and if it is taken care, it will be very well accepted in the industry. And second thing is the convention of online education overcome the lack of teachers' accessibility. That is, most of the places we don't have the proper lecturers and knowledgeable people to take the lectures and do the knowledge transfer. So this type of problems can be taken care through this online education. And the learners in many classes preferred the conventional process. Some of the people may be interested only in face-to-face interactions, but most of the time nowadays it is through webinar or through online education. This educational system is changing in a faster manner. The main objective of this to extend whichever students and teachers are favorable, otherwise disposed towards ICT. The difference, if anything, between arts, science and engineering students, most of the people, they require this ICT irrespective of their trades. And student opinion on online education to the traditional things are always changing nowadays. And most of the people would like to go for the online education for a faster manner because it is faster and secured and it is acceptable and it is transported also easily in a faster manner. And the results also can be published online if possible, or if it is ready, it can be published also. Yeah. See, modernized classrooms, the instructions and the students' learning process, we use multimedia, digital, photography, DVD, CD-ROMs, and so on and so forth, and even internet in sometimes. And teacher in charge of the audio-video laboratories train the students in such a way that students can be comfortable in using these ICTs. And web browsing is made available for all the students, most of the colleges, and it is a very good tool. People, whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, wherever they wanted, they can get the information and get benefited out of this. The statistics, basically you can see that web browsing is basically 90% in engineering, 80% in science, and around 88% in arts scenario. That is, most of the people are going through web browsing and getting the information and getting the whatever education they wanted. Yeah. So this is the comparative statement, that is between teaching and learning. So you can see that one in the next graph. Yeah. You can see that 68% of the people, that is, they are from the arts, and around 54 from science and 60%. These are all the various sectors or the places where they are getting into this web browsing and getting the informations, whatever they wanted. See, the curricular strategy is computer literacy is required module for every student, and most of the programs are offered in various colleges in built-in ICT modules, either acquiring computer knowledge through or applying it for the specific purposes. So, curricular versus traditional strategies. Facilities offered for web browsing and at least 1 hour for a week for every student, email submissions, assignment submissions through email, and in the classrooms you can use this LCD, PPT, and e-library. This is very, very important for the students. If this type of facilities are available, people will be comfortable in going through their programs. So adoption of ICT in education, and it is a trend, we have to do that. And conventional teaching has emphasized content for many years, of course. We have been writing around the books or reading around the books only, but teachers have taught through lectures and presentations and multimedia presentations also. So far we have seen the dilemmas about ICT, myths, pressures, but actual reality is, first of all, you have to analyze the educational objectives, determine the objective of ICT, and understand the potential of ICT, plan program and investment accordingly, implement the prerequisites, and evaluate and adjust continuously. See, so far I would like to conclude, ICT is the most valuable tool to overcome the problems of literacy. This is an explanation of information, and it is beyond our boundary places. And human layer of earth is now becoming a vast downloadable, searchable, writable surfaces. With new mobile usability and capabilities, physical world is moving into the digital space. The teachers and the institutions has to rise up to the occasion and change the face of day. And advanced community, most of us, we are connected with telephones, cellular, as well as the PCs. And this is the ICT learning objectives. That is, the challenges are in the storage, in exploration, application, analysis, evaluation, and constructing of design projects. So these are all the learning objectives. If you see the technology-wise, this is about text, audio, video, computer, and the internet. So it is the between ICT and what is the purpose it is used. You can see that curve, that is learning objective as well as the learning role. It is exponentially, or in a professional manner, it is increasing. That is from passive to active, as well as all the applications like constructing, designing, evaluation, and analysis. So the teacher's role should be teaching objective, and the teacher's role provide the facilities and the facilitator for the students. So in the higher education, what are the ICT concerns? What is the educational institute concerns? First of all, let us go to this ICT concerns. First of all, computing, storage, networking, bandwidth, data, backup, security, context, and search, finally, CapEx and OpEx. Whereas educational institutes, the education concerns are student, teacher, institute, and examiner. Body of knowledge, library, web books, paper, resources, study, learning, and coaching, evaluating this, certification. Finally, after doing everything, whether the students will be placed in a proper place or not, whether that is the biggest question mark as on today. The expectations from educational institutes, increased ICT usage, that is student-centered learning, and professional growth, education for everyone, anywhere learning, anytime learning, and not only that, you have to keep on learning till you are there in this earth. If you don't learn, you will be outdated, so there is no life for this education. And increased relevance of learning with use to the society and the students. And what cost? All these educations are available. What cost to the student? Is that student from rural community able to cope up, able to pay the fees, or say people like rich people, they are going to the IIT coaching centers and other places, whereas the rural community people, where do they go? Is it really affordable? But through this type of e-learning, we can bring the experts to the villages, and the talented people, no doubt that the talented people are also available from rural areas. The one good example I can tell, that my senior, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, we are from MIT, Madras. At that time, I can tell you that students coming to that institute are really poor, but that institute really lifted up the rural community as well as the knowledgeable people from that institute. And Dr. Kalam is one of the reasons, but you can see that you may be knowing about the background about Dr. Kalam. And the next thing is the ease of use, flexibility, and must be aid in policy making. This is government has to play a major role in, first of all, in the cost, reduction in the cost, and the infrastructure available to the institutes, and as well as it is affordable cost to the students also. Expectations from ICT, educational institutes and concerns, students' information systems, examination systems, alumni information systems, placement information, so on and so forth. See, basically everything is available online. That is, web portal management is taking care of those things, and seminars and conference management also. Whereas, what is the student concern? Academic requirement fulfillment, learning, finally, it should be placed in a good company. Societies, what is their concern? Economic growth and employment ratio improvement, cost-effective education and systems, and meet the needs of the society. Ultimately, he should be a good citizen also. What is the status of India, that is ICT? You can see that we were talking about power. So it is not available, Amma power is not available, always free. Here, many challenges are there as far as ICT is concerned, as far as telecom is concerned. We don't have the power in the rural areas to power up the equipments. And we don't have the connectivity also. So what we have designed use the solar power, and then so that the alternative power for that, the equipment power is coming from the main source. If it is failing, then it is through the other resources like solar power. And you can see that one person is peddling. This is my experience also. In 1989, we were doing exactly the same thing in Mysore when we were doing this field trial in Chamundi Ishwari temple nearby that. We were doing this one only, peddling this and then creating a power, charging it from the battery, and then powering the equipments. So this is a practical situation in India, but now the trend is increasing. The next concern is the connectivity, the infrastructure. So CDOT has taken up the prestigious project, that is National Optical Fiber Network, in which 6 lakh villages will be connected through this broadband connectivity through BharatNet. So this I would like to skip. You may be knowing the telecom trends. Now it is booming up. There is no doubt about it. But the major concern is the connectivity, transportation, whether do we have that much broadband data to transfer from one place to another, and every services should be taken care. It requires really digital India. That is what, as I told you, already we have started in 1984. We are continuing, and we would like to tell you that we are the only organization in India. We have designed, indigenously developed all the products, and we are servicing the country also for more than the life of these products. And yeah, as I told you, the entire country will be connected through this National Optical Fiber Network, so that our broadband problems will be taken care of. So this is the trend that is a reality in India. This many panchayats, this many villages are there. If you see here, 6 lakh villages to be connected. Unless otherwise you connect the villages to the urban, then whatever we are talking about ICT will not be a real thing or implementation in India. So, just I wanted to summarize this. Ultimately, we are talking about the modern technologies, IoT, IoE, that is Internet of Things and Internet of Everything. So, everybody is planning or moving towards 5G. So, we are also geared up, CDOT, we are doing this project also 5G. So, that is the latest trend wherein all this requirement, all the sensors and other things from IoT and IoE, M2M communication, it requires a wide broadband or broadband is required. That could be, the traffic could be taken care through this 5G technologies only. Apart from this, the connectivity, we have to concentrate on the green communication, that is alternative solar power, we may have to think of it, and cloud computing. This is another important thing we have to think of. This cloud computing, basically, previously we were having all the traditional way of connecting things. Now it is going to be a cloud through which all the devices will be connected, the services will be ensured. And impact of ICT in education, mainly massive online courses should be conducted, and many people will be basically getting the advantage of this ICT as well as the experts from various teachers or professors. And digital divide should be taken care. Basically, the poor student will not be curtailed from availing these facilities, and it should be reaching everywhere, everybody, anytime and every time. And the final thing is open source. Just I wanted to tell you, this is very, very important thing. We should develop or utilize the open sources. You have to encourage all the students to go for the open sources, encourage them to develop programs. At least 80% of your requirements can be done through open sources. Of course, the customization will follow. That is 20% remaining. Okay. And CDOT experience with ICT is, as I told you, we have established a good infrastructure. We are continuing in the same manner. At the same time, we encourage this academic people also to come along with us and then try to get in touch with the CDOT for any development programs. And we encourage the students to do the research-oriented activities also in CDOT. And of course, our ultimate aim is we have to develop a good infrastructure, good ICT, as well as good society and the knowledgeable people. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Sir, any questions, kindly raise your hand. We'll take one or two questions. Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
With how many universities you are working currently?
See, around 7 to 8 IITs, IIScs we are interfacing. And apart from that, the engineering students who are coming to CDOT for doing any projects or internships, we always encourage. In a year, at least I can tell you that around 50 to 60 students we encourage every year.
I think, sir, we have so many universities in Karnataka.
Yeah, whoever approached, we never denied, but whoever is approaching, I do. See, being a head of the organization, I can assure you that you can approach us, and then we will be in a position to definitely help. That's not an issue. And we have a lot of programs, government-sponsored programs also there, and whoever is interested, they can come and then approach us, we will do that.
Thank you, sir. A round of applause to the
Thank you.
Soundakumar.